Which one?
What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these rides that our ride was stolen, this is your All-Terrain Nation, and it is Bronco Talk Live, presented, Kelly, by White Knuckle Off-Road Products.
Heck yes.
That's right, the best rock sliders in the business.
I'm super excited about that.
I am too. We've worked with those guys for quite a while, and I was happy they wanted to be a part of the show, but it's time to talk Ford Broncos. And Kelly just literally ran in the door. Like, she was
True story.
Running late. She had a meeting, and well, you know how meetings do. And now she's taking over my computer, so I don't know if I can see myself right now.
You can't. It's okay.
Okay.
Nobody needs to see you.
Well,
you don't need to see yourself.
Okay. As producer, I guess she's just decided to just do whatever here. And
there you go.
There. Hey, we're back on live. There we go. And once again, this is your least produced live stream, probably on YouTube, and we are happy to.
I don't know about that. I've seen some pretty unproduced.
Well, I had
shows on YouTube.
Those early ones were pretty rough for me. But hopefully everybody has an amazing Monday. Kelly, I'm already seeing build dates. They're popping in there.
I know.
I'm very pumped about that. Some news came out this week that price protection's sort of going away for 2023, so people are going to want to know about that. But you know the drill. You know what's coming. You can't stop it. It's here. Kelly's over here. I'm not ready. I'm
not ready. I literally run in, and here we go.
Well, first off, congratulations to Terrence Mooney. This is a big moment, and
my birthday's on the 15th.
That's right.
December.
That's right. California will never be the same when that man gets his Bronco. I guarantee you that. Also, Mr. G. Brown got his blend date. Congratulations,
blend date. Nice.
That is very, very nice. And Kelly, what is going on?
All right, let me have the mouse.
I'm sorry.
Since you jumped all in.
I'm just gonna sip my whiskey here and let you do your thing.
Oh, Nurse AJ, I'm sorry to hear that you're sick.
Yep, she's got the vid.
My mom texted me today and said my dad has it too, and we just spent the weekend with my parents.
But he thought he got it at bowling after.
Yeah, well, I was gonna go there.
Okay.
The first question, I mean, of course, obviously my mom said my dad was okay, but my first question was, I hope we didn't give it to him. And my mom says, no, I think he got it on Thursday before you guys even got up there at bowling. So thoughts for him there, hopefully. And he said he was feeling a lot better today. So I hope you feel better soon, Nurse AJ, too. Let's see. Allie Dubois.
Of course, Ms. Aly's in the green room back there.
You're not supposed to tell everybody. You get on to me about telling everybody.
I didn't know it was a secret.
Nikki Brewer. Nikki had some fun with us this weekend, as you could see in the intro picture.
She stole my Bronco.
Her and Gia, which I saw Gia in the chat, also stole our Rebecca. So yeah, I mean, we gladly gave over the driver's seat, but you know, let's see. Sorry,
they're all popping
I wasn't
in now.
prepared because
I know. Usually you go through it.
Michael Cooper in the house. Justin Ewert says, I got my build date for 12/19 for my two-door Badlands.
Congratulations.
Randy Hughes says, evening, everyone.
What's up, Randy?
What a cruel question. I like both equally.
Well,
I don't know what the question was.
I asked the serious topic of which you got to pick one, Star Wars or Star Trek.
Oh, Star Wars for me.
Well,
but hey, you do you, booze.
That's right.
C Seeker Bronco in the house. Positivity wins. Mid-all production. One.
Bob Masters.
Big Dog Big Dog Bird Dog Overland in the house. Bob Master. Jason K says you're wearing an orange shirt.
No, this is actually it's kind of canary yellow. I don't know what YouTube's doing to it. But.
Frank Costanza in the house. Zach N.
Cigar Texan in the house.
These are my intros, not yours. Stephen Rapp, Bronco 78, Eric Jefferson, 502 Bourbon Crew, and Peugeot. Let's see. Valley Dude 5000. Says I got 2 recall items to fix on my Bronco.
There's a few recalls out there. We're going to go into that.
Nick North in the house. Mike Max. Let's see. I think we already said hello to Positivity Wins, but I'm going to say it again because I love Positivity Wins. That name. Brian Slick. Skip V6797. Tim Jackson. Let's see. Bim Joker. Honest Smith, welcome in, sir. Yes, I'm glad to be back with no headache today, but feeling still kind of junky today. Dave doesn't even know that, but I'm feeling kind of junky today, I know.
Just do the show from over here.
Dirk Connor, Austin Cash, Mike Max, and Jessica Dunn joining in. It's been a minute, ma'am.
It has been a minute.
And let's see. Who are we?
Bill C. A lot of new names in here.
Eric Jefferson says, finally got why is it jumping and hiding? Finally got a buyer for my Jeep. Had to make room for my 5.0 Tremor that might show up in February. Nice. Bill C in the house. Jeff Phillips says 2-door Badlands delivered last week.
Ooh, nice.
Iconic Bronco in the house. And
Andy Ackerman. Who dis?
Pure Blood Patriot 17 in the house. And Stephen Rapp asking about that paperwork about being
we got royalty in the house. We got Mr. Tim Bartz in the house. We say thank you, sir, for saying hi to us in your live stream the other night.
Thank you for that shout out. We appreciate you. Andy Ackerman throwing in that super chat, sir. Thank you for that $4.99 super chat. Say who dis? New channel, who dis? No, not new channel. And let's see. Who did I miss? Who have I missed?
There's Laura, who we got to meet at the event.
I know I was reading this. Hold on.
Oh, wait. What we got here? Pretty sure you saw I ordered a 23 Explorer ST. My build date for my Explorer got moved to the 5th of December. Should have a new car by Christmas.
Nice.
That's a fun ride to get too for Christmas.
Laura, good to meet you this weekend. So much fun.
A ball of energy.
Jonathan Falds. Of course, we already said hello to Gia Hogue, but Gia Hogue says any word on that guy with the base Rebecca pulled out.
I did get a little update on it. So there were some suggestions that he put it into a tow mode, and that might allow the transfer case. Because what had happened was, and if you guys don't know, I posted it yesterday. We were all out having fun in a kind of a sand pit, as it were. And there was a gentleman kind of not following us, but he was in the area with us a lot. And he was kind of out doing his own thing. And all of a sudden we saw him walking towards us. And it just looked like he high centered his Bronco. It was a little drop, and and it was a little base Bronco. And I just thought, well, he just needs kind of a pull out, and we'll gladly come tow you out. But he said, man, it won't go in gear. And I was like, maybe it's just laying on the drive shaft. Maybe there's just something causing it to not let it do it. So we'll go over. And I believe somebody with Ford was over there, and we all went over there in a Raptor. Damn it, I didn't get to drive the Raptor. But anyways,
because everybody knows that you don't think it's all it's cracked up to be.
No, I like the Raptor. I just don't want one. I want the number one from Brighton Ford. But anyways, so we went over there, and yeah, sure enough, his vehicle, he could put it in park, but it was like, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced where you like put your car in park while it was rolling a little bit. You hear that kind of grinding
That's
sound.
Not at all like it. You just sounded like a Chewbacca. Yeah, no, it was like grinding. It was like grinding.
I know about the Bronco. But anyways, so I thought, okay, we'll just pull him out. Maybe we can help him get it out, and just could never get that thing to. It was like it was locked in. It thought it was shifting the whole time, like the computer was just freaking out.
It really just every time it sounded like the gears were grinding against one another.
But it wasn't actual gears. This was just It's like a clicking that. It's a safety feature in the transmission. So we ended up having to tow him out. We dropped a video on that. But the update is he ended up getting it. It was a tow to Ford. And as I said earlier, a viewer wrote in the chat and said, hey, maybe if he put it in tow mode, it might release it to the computer to stop freaking out and allow it to go back in gear. He ran over to his dealership before the dealership got open and tried it and said no go, did not work. Then, as if it wasn't worse, because his name's Dave, by the way. And if Dave, you're in here, man, we feel for you on this. But that Ford dealership does not have a transmission person there. So they had to then tow it to another Ford dealership. So, there's a couple days of waiting around for everything.
No.
So he promised that he would update us and let us know what's going on. I'm hoping to maybe get a small interview with him down the road where we can, once we know more, we'll figure this out together. But our friends over at Lifestyle Off-Road, Luke there, he's had similar issues one time with his when he was at Windrock Park with us. And he just said he just kept putting it in park, neutral, shut the vehicle off just over and over and over. And finally it just snapped and never had an issue.
Not
since.
Snapped, but it eventually
snapped
worked.
into gear, as it were, and never had an issue. But speaking of snapping into gear, Kelly.
But he was super, super sweet, super appreciative.
Yes.
And we don't like to leave people behind, and we hated to leave him and not get him working on the road.
We got it because where he was at in the park, it was going to be probably $1,500 for them to come.
At least somebody said you better check your credit card balance because it's going to cost a lot if you have to tow out of.
So Dave, you owe me a beer. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm playing. But we were able to get him to the parking lot. We took the battery. We disconnected the battery, thinking, okay, maybe the computer let it just decharge and reset itself, and no go on that either. So hopefully we'll get some answers down the road. But like Kelly said, we don't like, there was nothing else we could do in that situation. He was just waiting on a tow truck. So our hearts do go out to Mr. Dave there for that problem. But Kelly, speaking of problems.
Yeah.
We've got a problem in the green room. And she didn't like that. She's going to stick her big husky on me. But let's bring her in. Kelly.
Hey, Aly, boys.
Oh, hey.
So Aly, I feel like we just hung out with you, but I guess we did.
Yeah.
Weird. We actually got to hang out.
And then I was like rudely, I kept trying to find you, and you were just a people person. You're like a people magnet. You're like a Ford magnet, basically. If there was somebody important, they just kept like coming to you. And Aly had our little flag thing. We had to put this little flag thing on, and I felt like such an asshole. I was tapping her on the shoulder like, hi.
I know. I was pulled in like 50 different directions. It was insane. It was fun, but it was insane.
Welcome to event organization.
But the weird thing was she turned around and just pimp slapped me. She said, "You shut up and sit down."
And then she said, "Go Big Blue."
No, she
I did. Actually, I do want to know who gave you the bag that said "Go Blue" that had your whiskey in it.
It was Tracy and Jim Peterson.
Yes,
I love that. Oh my god,
every
that
time
was
I see
fantastic.
them, they bring me a new bottle of whiskey, which I say thank you.
They're the ones in the hot red pepper, hot pepper red, fastback best top.
Yeah, but, they were the ones when we were in the sandpit, right?
Yeah.
Yes, at the sandpit.
Yeah. So they know my love of not Michigan, Ohio State, and they had to put Michigan on this bag, and but I do say thank you.
We also met Bronco Dude.
We met a lot of people.
Yeah, we met quite a few people.
We drove through Honest Smith's town.
We did, and 502 Bourbon Cruise.
Florence, y'all.
Yeah. We actually stopped in Florence, y'all, which he said Dave's never stopped before. Yes, I agree, Eric. Boo that state. Boo that state.
I have to agree.
I feel like I'm getting my ass handed to me already, man.
But
Aly, how is your Monday going? Everything good?
Oh, it's good. Crazy, but good.
That's good to hear.
It's a Monday.
The most important question out of all of them, Aly, is this right here.
Yes.
Number one.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
You're still number one.
Right. All right.
Just remember, all of these videos are recorded, so we're going to hold you to that number one spot.
Oh man. But I'm assuming. There's Mr. Jordan Parker in here. Jordan, I would bring you Parker. I would bring you whiskey, but I don't know. Are you old enough for whiskey, Jordan?
Oh.
That's the key. But we got to meet Laura with Bronco Nation. She was very very nice, and
I love Laura.
We did take a silly selfie.
So Jordan, if I get to see you, I'm going to put you on my shoulders, little guy.
Oh my gosh!
I'm get you on my shoulders. Get a silly selfie.
I know, right?
Last week,
you didn't realize this is the Dave you were going to get after you met him in person, did you, Aly? Because he's a little wild tonight.
Whiskey's kicking in. So last week, Kelly was not a part of the show, And Aly did me a solid. She
Yes.
jumped in real quick to throw a couple things, and Dwayne with Driven Wild Outdoors jumped in. You're hard to replace, Kelly, but 2, I think, helped get the job done a little bit.
Almost.
So I do greatly
Almost
appreciate that. And you were talking about, hey, you know, we're having this small meetup, as it were, at Holly Oaks Off-Road ORV. And I threw it out there. I was like, well, it might be fun to just drive up there and do that. And of course, you know, my conscience over here is not sitting next to me, so I can just do whatever I want, and it can happen. But Kelly didn't even know. I literally sprung it on her. She was starting to feel better by Wednesday, and I kind of sprung it on you. I was like, hey, we're going to Detroit.
No.
I know.
What do you think about going to Michigan?
It was. You told me to message Kelly, and like I got to work the next day, and I was gonna message her like at lunch or like when I got home, and then I get a message from Dave, we're coming. I'm like, oh.
See, you didn't even give her a chance to ask.
Sorry.
Jeez.
I was impatient. I was excited. I wanted to go wheel in the sand.
No, he did. He was like, hey, what do you think about going to Michigan this weekend? I was like,
because that was out of the blue, right?
Yeah, because like, no offense, he doesn't really volunteer to go to Michigan very often. Like, so it's like for him to say, let's go. And we've gone, this is our second trip to Michigan this year. I was like shocked.
Jordan's 23. All right. I remember 23.
Ooh, I don't. It was before you.
Anyways, Jordan, when do we get an invite on your show? I'll invite you to mine. But anyway, so I sprung that on you, and
yeah.
And it was kind of like I knew with the holidays coming up too. I mean, obviously, when we wanted to come up and hang out with Aly, but your family up there, and they weren't going to see over the holidays, and so it was a double whammy for me, you know. Michigan, and family time.
Yeah, right. Ugh. You've got 2 Michigan people here and a bunch in the chat, so you better just chill.
Wait till Supercell. Everyone surrounding your cabin is from Michigan.
Yeah. I told him that on the way. I was like, Aly said, we've got most of the Michigan Bronco Club surrounding our cabin. He's like, damn it.
But I have to say, the Michigan Bronco Club was very, very nice to us.
Yes.
It was weird. They just kept throwing $100 bills at us. I was like, I'll come here all the time. Like, I'm playing. They were 50s. But anyways.
Wait, what? Where?
I can't tell you that. It was Jordan. Jordan sent him over to us. Anyway, so we kind of last minute we took off. You were as soon as you got off work Thursday night, we ran up there, or we made it halfway. We made it to the place we say we never stay again, and we keep staying there. LaGrange, Kentucky.
But this time we mean it because
it
like
wasn't that bad.
No, but it didn't wake you up, but the AC kept like it would like tick 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 tick. Like it was like almost like a transmission where it was trying to like kick over to the next gear, and then it wouldn't, and it would shut off.
Are you picking on Dave's Bronco that broke down? Is that what
you're
saying?
Not at all. Had nothing to do with that.
Dave, hey, come on, man. I helped you out.
And then the shower was really loud, like the pipe in the shower. So no more LaGrange for us, I think.
Okay. But anyways, so we made it up there Friday. We got settled in, and then we texted Aly and said, hey, we changed our mind.
You did.
We didn't. You did.
Okay, I did. But
he puts the camera up and he goes, hey, Aly, we're not coming. We're turning around. We're going to go back. And I was like, yeah, we're headed home. See you later, Aly. Maybe a Bronco Supercell. I'm like, this is day in the life for me. Like, for real.
It was a really good time.
LaGrange, an odd choice. Well, it works out perfect because usually by 10 o'clock or so when we drive from Nashville, it's kind of about my point, because I'd been up since about 5:30 that morning, so I was kind of done.
Yeah,
but it works out pretty well. But Kelly,
we'll try Bardstown next time, see if we can get that far.
We got to Holly Oaks.
Yeah.
So how'd that go? What's going on? We got to meet that. Well, you met. Well, did you meet Aly? No, you've never met Aly either.
No,
we've never actually met in person.
We've literally just gone to the same events, and we just don't talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly. We literally, I'm pretty sure we were like 5 feet away from each other at Bronco Off Rodeo. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know I have wrestling beef age, but come on now.
Same. You didn't come to me either. So, I mean, it's like,
wow.
No,
I had to bring you two ladies together.
No, I'm pretty sure we were
Apparently.
both talking to people.
It took
I
a
think is what it
Dave.
was.
It
like
took a Dave to
off-roading.
bring. Look, I'm a connector. I connect people together.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
see?
can't ask a question and then just talk over me.
Sorry.
Just saying. Just saying.
It happens.
So no, Allie and I didn't meet again, or didn't meet until this weekend.
Oh.
Finally we got to meet.
But we were one of the first ones to show up, and I didn't even see Allie. Well, I was getting a little nervous because me and Kelly put on events for years, so I kind of know, there's back door stuff you got to do, and I've never had to wheel where you have a goofy flag on your vehicle. For one, that's the goofiest thing in my life. I've never wheeled where there's like 16 different taxes they put on you for I think there was a flag tax. I think they charge you for the flag. Oh, and by the way, you got to put that on the vehicle. There's another tax for that. But I'm kidding, Michigan. You do have a few taxes though. But I was a little nervous about that whole flag thing because I don't want to beat the shit out of my Bronco for one thing. And then that bracket you told us to get worked out perfect. We get it on there, and then a couple Raptors show up, Kelly.
Yeah, a couple Raptors showed up, and this one goes, oh, I got to get that when they come back around and when they flew around the corner. And yeah, it was funny. So then Dave had to mock it.
Well, that's later in the day. I'll have.
I didn't know we were going through.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were going to get there at like 10. Ended up getting there at like 10:30 because we were all busy talking in Tom's office. Because there's a couple of us. We met some of the Ford people there, which was really cool. Because I've met a couple of them and like we're friends on Facebook, but I've never met them like in person yet. So we all got to like talking, and like we finally look at the time, and I look at Tom, who runs a lot of the events at Holly Oaks. I'm like, we gotta go. Like, there's already people showing up. Like, you guys had texted me. My mom was there. She texted me. She goes, there's a lot of Broncos here so far. And here I'm thinking like one or two, and we pull up and there's like 30 already waiting. I'm like, all right, this is going to be a lot bigger. And then they just kept coming in, like Bronco after Bronco. There was officially 84 Broncos.
Nice.
That showed up to the event. There was over 120 people.
That's awesome.
Well, and when we talked last week, you were like, I think it's like 30.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like 30. Like, then it started growing to 40 and then 50. I'm like, okay. I'm like, it's going to be really windy. Let's probably cap it at like 6. Like, we were guessing 60. We knew that was going to be our biggest meetup that we had. And we're like, okay, it's going to be super windy. The rain was like iffy if it was actually going to rain or not. And then we just kept looking at all the Broncos coming in. And I think everyone had a fantastic time. At least from my messages and all my DMs I've been getting, everyone had a great time.
Yes.
Hey, y'all stay out of her DMs. I've heard about those kind of things. Stay out of Allie's DMs.
There we go.
Yeah, it is definitely like we've talked about it. Is like I've never wheeled in sand. And so for me, it was a lot different. Like, and honestly, even growing up in Michigan, I didn't expect as much sand at this event as there was. But it was a great launching point for someone that has never done anything in sand. So it was really, really a fun experience.
Andrea, thank you so much for that.
The one thing that I like too is that like we specifically asked everybody, like, okay, who's an expert at off-roading? And there was like,
I think it was
you guys saw like maybe 10. I was gonna say maybe 10 people or less.
Yeah.
So, like everybody was a newbie, which I think you kind of saw, like, because I was standing up with Laura and Tom and some of the Ford people, and you kind of just saw like a sigh of relief, like, okay, we're all new, we're all gonna get through this together. So that was actually really cool to see too.
No, it was. And I will say that place, the Holly Oaks, is perfect for new people. They do have some things that you can have fun with. I think the tire thing that, somebody got stuck on, I think that needs to be reworked for that park because when they were pulling that person off there was a good chance they could have rolled that person off there. It was a little sketchy. That one's not ready for prime time just yet, but I love the fact that they have some obstacles. Like they have the kind of like they have in Moab, the little bowl. And I've got some video I'll pop up in just a second of it. There's a couple things like the sand. I mean, you can, sand, somebody made the comment, it was Jim and Kelly, we were talking. They made the comment of sand is like mud, except you don't have to clean it off your vehicle. Like it'll stick to it some, but it's like.
But it is like glitter. once you get a little bit of sand, you have a lot of sand everywhere.
I'm still cleaning sand out of my Bronco from Bronco takeover at the sand dunes that happens every August. Like, well, I was also dumb and did donuts and didn't shut my windows, so that was my own damn fault.
We had 2 people in our car that did that too.
I
And
was
it wasn't
there
us
for that. That was hilarious.
Oh no, they were hilarious. Wait, that's not the one I wanted. Where are we at? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Jess, are there off-road parks on the East Coast? Oh man, the biggest one in America is probably privately is Windrock Park in East Tennessee, 73.
I think she set up in Connecticut is where she's kind of based.
Okay, and well,
Yeah.
there are some stuff up there. You in Connecticut area though, you have all these cool roads, these logging roads and stuff that you can go do, which is I would take somebody that's experienced with you, but lots to do up there.
Yeah, like fire roads and stuff like that.
See, I was with Bird. See, I'm watching the chat too. Bird Dog Overland was with me too, and he's still cleaning sand out of his Bronco from that event. That was a good time.
Oh, and speaking of Bird Dog Overland, so Jody is like 30 or 40 hours away from reaching his monetization for his
which
channel.
Sounds like a lot, but it can get there very quickly.
If you guys at some point would just play a video of his tonight, later after this, it would mean a lot. It would help his little channel. It's a personal benchmark really that YouTube kind of makes you do, but it would help a lot if you guys would do that for Bird Dog. I would greatly appreciate that. But yeah, no, the sand that you were talking about, a lot of fun. Of course, like they had the obstacles with the concrete kind of logs, as it were, that I sent Aly some video of her doing, and just a lot of little fun things like that. But I really do think it's the perfect thing for newer people to go have fun with. I didn't see anything there that I was just like, oh my God, this is too extreme. Like there was nothing that I wouldn't think a new person would get themselves in over their heads with, except for that tire. But once again, those tires,
long as you gauge that, because I understand there's a couple of obstacles there that you really don't want to do unless you're tenured. And I did see a couple of pictures after the fact where a couple of people were like, didn't think I would cross over and I'd have the clearance, and so I decided not to, and things like that. So there's a few things that you could, but I would just say go with people that you trust to kind of spot you, and also use some common sense, obviously, because you don't want to put yourself in a weird situation, because there are ways that if you're not smart about it, because there were a couple of times where I did see one person where was actually climbing up the obstacle Dave's about to show, and there I really thought that as fast as he was going, he was hopping a bit, and I was afraid he was gonna topple backwards.
Well, first off, why Kelly wants to show this is because Dave busts his ass right here.
I love Gia and Nikki. We got it on camera.
I love it when you guys
Watch, I'm trying to run up and right there. So this does not look as steep as it actually is. It's pretty freaking steep, but oh, my slick shoes. No,
that's not the one.
No, I got
man.
I get you. There it is. So right here, I thought I'm just going to be cool surveyor guy that can run right up this thing. Watch this. My traction fails me. I'm like, okay, I can get it. No.
I am slightly disappointed I missed this.
Oh, no, there's a round 2. Look, you got to pull your pants up, put on your big boy pants, and then
he's going to hold the camera and not bust it.
I don't need my $800 camera.
I love that they're all up there trying to help you get up there too.
Right. So, but I mean, here's the.
I know Nikki said she can't believe you're showing it.
No, I don't care. I make a fool of myself all the time. But this is the little climb Kelly did. This was your second go because we forgot.
Oh, is this the second one?
Because we forgot to turn the GoPro. Let's see here. Will she get up it? So how intimidating was this for you, Kelly?
Second time, not so much. First time, very much.
Because look, this is straight up right here.
Yeah.
The first time I had no idea where I was going. Once I got up there is the problem as to why it was really super intimidating. And when I got to the top, he goes, whoa. And so I stop. I hit my brakes because he goes, whoa. And I'm thinking, am I about to hit him? Am I about to go off a cliff? Like what is whoa?
Ask Joey Lawrence. Whoa. But here I'll bring this back in, and you can see the stair step little deal they had there. This over here was kind of cool because it's hard to see it, but there was a bunch of little dips where you could kind of flex your vehicle out. Kind of made you teach you how to climb up the hill.
Even that, you could even test out your sway bar disconnect, which I think is really cool.
Oh yeah, and I did.
But you can see the back.
It was great.
Right, you can see the background. There's all kinds of little obstacles that everybody's getting to try, and that's why I said this place was perfect for kind of noobs to kind of get into off-roading, because I think they could go. Once again, I don't suggest anybody going by themselves, but I think you could go out there and just crawl around a little bit and probably have a lot of fun.
And like I said, use some common sense. If you don't have common sense, be very cautious. How about that? Yeah,
or cautious.
But yeah, at some point we handed over. So Gia and Nikki were just going to stay in the parking lot.
That doesn't work for us
because they didn't have their vehicles yet. So we were driving by and I was like, hey, you guys want to get in? They were like, I was like, we'll just take you out for a little while. Because what's cool about Holly ORV is that there's a main parking lot and then there's like the playground essentially. So
yeah, that's
what's really cool about it, is that you have that central location. You're not going to get too far out that you don't feel like you can come back to the parking lot, which I thought was super cool.
Right. And so yeah, so they're probably gonna, I hate it was such a close up, but I was trying to quickly figure out a place I wanted to get their reactions. Let's see here.
And I think this was one of the first times they really drove a Bronco too.
Yes.
So twofold. They've never off-roaded before, and they have never.
She did the.
Oh, she did the test drive at her dealer, but that's it.
No, I thought she was saying in one of these videos she did the off-rodeo. Look, they're just having, like, they're giggling, they're having a blast, which is like, who else would throw your keys? Like, I literally just was like, hey, here, go have fun. And they're like, and I wish I've got Nikki's. I'll have to pull it up. I got her expression somewhere, but when I like literally, you can see her like little grin. All of a sudden, pull up like, drive, really? But no, I think they drove at the park more than we did.
It was honestly so funny because I had done an interview with Matt Winter for one of the radio thing that Tom had like set up. So I was talking to him, and I come back and I saw you guys, and I'm like, wait. Y'all are out of your Bronco. I'm like, where's your Bronco? And it's like over in the back. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, okay. But it was a good time. I mean, I saw Jordan's comment. Did that obstacle in a Bronco Sport? We had a Bronco Sport.
There was.
We had one little Bronco that was there. So that was really cool to actually see that. And he was pumped. He was so excited to be there. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was a little cyber orange Badlands. Bronco Sport. At one point, I think I'm going to make it into a short. At one point, I was getting. I'm terrible with names. What's this guy's name, Allie?
That's Aaron.
Aaron. So all of a sudden, I saw this ditch, and I was like, somebody needs to go in that ditch. And then all of a sudden, Aaron must have heard me in my mind, because he went down in the ditch, like parallel to all this driving. And at one point, he was driving down the ditch, and I counted 4 other white Broncos that were in the same shot that I was taking. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, and the amount of eruption green Broncos. Did you guys ever get a count on how many eruption green were there?
No, but we should have, because I feel like everywhere I turned, there was a freaking green Bronco.
I mean, there's 2 in the shot right now.
Did you hear what happened to Aaron's step?
No.
He lost it in that mud pit.
He lost his flag?
His running board.
Oh,
he ended up finding it, but he ended up catching a turn or a corner too tight, and it just came off.
Oh my gosh.
He found it. He's happy now.
That's crazy.
I felt so bad.
Crazy. Here's the Petersons.
Yep.
I mean, I have to say, everyone did fantastic. It was really cool, listening to them trying to figure out, what modes to go into. So I was shouting some of them out. But watching people go from, super nervous in the parking lot to, the end of the day, super pumped, and, they're all asking me, when are we going back? I'm like, well, we'll plan another event. I can't promise you how big or small it's going to be, but... It was a great
No,
time.
and I will say it was a little windy. Just a
smidge.
I think it got up to like 50-mile-an-hour gusts that day.
That does not surprise me because the amount of sand that I washed out of my hair that night was ridiculous.
My hair was like one big knot by the time I got back into my Bronco, just because I kept jumping in and out, and I would like go park my Bronco in the corner because I just wanted to make sure everybody was comfortable and like was understanding all the goat modes and everything okay. And I like finally get back in, and my mom's like, she asked me one time to like how knotted my hair was, and I'm like, I don't even want to look at it.
Right.
Like she was mentioning like how knotted her hair was, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't want to touch it. I don't even want to know.
Well, here is the tires that I was talking about, and you can see the ground.
Yeah.
This just was not ready to be played on just yet. They needed to rework that a little bit, but
At least not with the softness of the
Yeah.
tires, or the tires need to be replaced.
and they ended up right there. Like, dude, when that thing started rolling, I was like, please don't.
Wait, was that the Bronco with the young girl in it?
Yeah, yes, but the dad got in and drove it off.
Okay. I'm like,
So she got it stuck.
She was a badass. So this
Yeah,
girl
she was a
had
badass.
a driver's permit, and dad let her drive, and she did absolutely fantastic. She was hesitant on some stuff, but by the end of the day, she was pumped and like ready to go.
That's awesome.
She was awesome. It's so cool seeing like more girls get into it too.
Oh,
So,
for sure.
That's what I'm a fan of.
That's it right there.
I see Aly in the background somewhere there. Oh, no, wait. Which one is
No, I don't.
Is this me driving or
no? This is me.
No, there's.
Or is that Gia?
That's look. I'm going in. Yeah, because I'm in the background. I think you filmed this maybe, or I don't know. But this was. I have to admit, this was a lot of fun right here, being in this sand pit, because we've never got to experience sand. Like, so learning to drive in sand was. Kelly did get stuck once.
She redeemed herself.
She did redeem herself, but she also flipped me off over it.
Oh, that's me. No, that's me driving.
Is that you? Oh, is this where you get stuck then?
Thanks.
Ooh,
oh, you did that on purpose.
I think you did too.
I really didn't. I really didn't.
Not this time.
But it's just you just didn't. You were anticipating grip.
Yeah. So in my defense, you all know I come from world of Nissan wheeling, which is like send it is not everything. Like you don't send it because you bust CVs and all that stuff. So we don't send it. So to get it going, and then the throttle control, because I didn't send it early enough, the throttle control was like, nope, I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
And this doesn't show. There was a pretty steep little climb out on this too.
And at some point here, my wonderful husband over here says, you're embarrassing me.
Yeah, he did. I was there.
I would not do that.
And then I said, I'm embarrassing myself. And then I get to the top and realize we have a ton of spectators. So I was extremely embarrassed by the time.
I feel like this is like when I came up like at this point. Because I came up, right, because I can't remember what we were doing.
Oh, that's where he said, you're embarrassing me.
I think I found a mud puddle and then I came.
Jerk. So you're just going to keep showing me backing up and backing up.
No, eventually you make it. I mean, we got an hour, so we can talk about this. But no, like this. But I mean, in all reality, like you have no experience in sand, so you just didn't. Like expect it to.
And I don't like mud, so I don't tend to get myself into mud. And then everybody else made it up first time around.
They watched you. They learned from you.
Oh, is that it?
That's what we'll say.
There we go.
That's it. Yes, 502 Bourbon Cruise says, Kelly, just tell Dave you were simulating his run up that hill.
That's a good one.
Love it.
Somebody's gonna get banned.
Love it.
Let's see. I don't think I've got. I was trying to see, and this is raw. It's raw footage that I've just kind of. Yeah, I won't go.
See, even Shocker Racing Garage says nothing to be embarrassed about there. At least you didn't bury it.
No, she tried. If I wouldn't have said something to you, you would have got pissed off and just been like, "I'm gunning this thing right in the middle of that hill." I've known you're driving enough that you were going to get pissed off, and when you were halfway up the hill and just been like digging it in.
No,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie though. I mean, at the sand dunes, I got stuck once, and then Jeff from Bronco Graveyard, he had to tell me, he's like, "Okay, you got to back up. You got to do this," and then I was fine the rest of the weekend.
Yeah,
you
just gotta learn.
That was the first time.
So you were talking about telling everybody what modes to be in.
Yeah,
I'm old school. I just push the locker if I want it in, or I'm do what I want. And Kelly's I've kind of taught her that way a little bit. And
Tell
then
me what?
And I've just used the button when we need it.
Yeah.
We just put it in 4 high or 4 low, and we just go from there. And then somebody, after we were kind of packing up there, goes, "Well, you should have just used sand mode." And I was like, "Are you freaking kidding?"
And I thought about it.
that was me.
But
Was it
yeah,
Aly?
it was, wasn't it?
It was
But
me.
we didn't use sand mode at off rodeo. Like they only showed us
No,
it.
we didn't.
Like
Yeah, we
Shelby,
did mud.
Shelby
and
showed us at
Baja.
our obstacle, like how to get out of sand, but not with sand mode. But didn't we didn't use it on the trails.
Yeah.
Bird Dog Overland's trying to get us up at Silver Lake, just like Aly was.
Well, no, I want to go up there.
It's so fun. There were so many Broncos.
That just seems like too many, though.
It's really not with how big the park is. It's really not.
Is it big? Okay. Because
Yeah.
I know I've told you earlier today, that's a bucket list place for me, but I don't know if it's a bucket list
the
to
thing
go with
is,
so many people.
I started to get nervous just with how many people were replying yes, because I mean, Holly Oaks is big, don't get me wrong. But even with all those Broncos there was never really a time that I was like, "Oh, like this is too many, like we should have capped this," type of a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing.
Well, so Aly, kind of what was some of your highlights of your club's event?
I mean, honestly, just watching everyone have fun. That was like the biggest thing, and like realizing like why these people are waiting so long for these things. Like it is worth it. It is 110% worth it for this car. And the biggest thing is like the community of people too. Like everybody was friends by the end of the day, and that's what I think I like the most, is because it is really like a little Bronco family. It's great.
Right.
No, but it's super cool because I've gone from not knowing anything about this car to I know a lot, and I'm still learning a lot about the car. But I go from like 0 experience to I'm at least confident behind the wheel. And like I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. And I just want other people to have that same confidence, which is the biggest thing, which I have a lot of that to thank for Mike and Amy Clouds, because they've taught me like everything.
Yes.
But it's just one of those things that oh yeah, and she like messaged me too. She was like so bummed she couldn't be there. We're trying to get Amy up to like one of these events.
Yes.
So we can get people pumped about like off rodeo. And that's why I like the club that we've kind of created, because we want to give people the tools to use all of this and be confident in their car. That's the biggest thing. Like that's why Michigan Bronco Club really exists, and we're really trying to work with Ford and Bronco Nation, just to be one, a well-known club, 2, anyone's welcome type of a thing. But if you want to learn something, like these are the events you go to be able to do that.
And people even came out, like we know obviously Nikki and Gia came out and they don't have their Broncos yet. And I know that there were other people that came out and were like, "Oh, I didn't have a Bronco," but one guy got to ride in Raptor.
Yeah,
you know, so
Tom was getting a ride in a Raptor.
Yeah, so like even if you don't have your vehicle yet and you see these club events in your area or those types of things, definitely reach out and say, "Hey, I'm not going to have my Bronco. Can I still come and like see about it? Is there possible, is there possible a seat maybe I could get into?" And have a plan just to kind of go and observe, but also potentially get in a seat. So just know that just because of that doesn't mean that you can't.
I truly think 3 or 4 people were giving rides for that whole event, because I went back up once and I saw like 2 other people getting in a Bronco, and I was like, okay, this is kind of awesome, because the first couple of events that people hosted around Michigan, I wasn't gonna go to. I was nervous as hell and I was intimidated, and I didn't want to be that girl that got stuck and either broke my Bronco or just sent it a little too hard type of a thing. But it's just one of those things that I really hope people don't feel intimidated to go. And like you'll have a new friend by the end of the day. You really will.
Right, like me and Dave right here. We've become
Yeah.
close friends at this point, and
We
Kelly had to
learned
point
a
it out.
I was
lot.
gonna say no, it's me and Dave.
Technically.
Somebody did say I did a good job pulling.
You did.
It was my
You
first
did do a
toe,
good-
by the way.
But and there's
Thank you.
You
there's
did do a
Dave
good job.
Bronco back there.
I appreciate
Once
that.
we got to, and
There's
no,
mine.
and
It's
honestly,
camouflaged.
this
It's just under the mud.
right.
I thought, and I asked you this at the end after I saw that mud on there, because the way that it fell on her Bronco, it almost looked like she had stickers there
Right.
that mud had caught on that I didn't catch from when it was, when it was clean. And she's like, no, that's the way mud is.
Yeah.
No. That's what we're doing.
This was a highlight for me, getting to see these. I rip on the Raptor a little bit because it's not for me. This Raptor is not for me, but it's not to say I know it's a badass vehicle.
This Raptor is not for me.
No, not this one. No, there's a number. There's one
that
for me.
Ranger.
But
Weird.
But getting to see these things rip through the sand like that was pretty fun because we weren't expecting it, and just all of a sudden we seen them come ripping through there, and then I wasn't gonna have that.
Well, and then we didn't get video the first time they came around. So Allie was like, hey, we want to have you do it again. Can you do it one more time? And he's like, yeah, but we gotta, this other guy needs to get out of there too. Which should we do? Well, we've got everybody waiting here. So let's go ahead and do the drive-by one more time, and then we'll go over and head over. And Dave was standing there, Dave, the guy who his truck. So he did get to observe and, watch the flyby too. So it was cool for sure.
We'll
Yeah,
see. I'll
it
try to get that.
It was definitely a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So Laura asked what we used to actually get up the sand. I actually just had front and rear lockers and for high going up it, but you could use sand mode. You were in what?
I was in sand mode.
You were in sand mode.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to go a la carte, you choose those. If you want to go easy and have it choose for you, that's what I would have done too, is the sand mode. Lots of people telling us we need to go to Badlands.
No, Badlands has been on my list for a long time because we know Chicago, the Nissan Chicago Club's always been bugging us to come up there.
And Mobile Moto says, I'm really sad I didn't get an invite. It was like, Mobile, you just have to join Michigan Bronco Club on Facebook.
Which there's no charge.
Which there's no charge for it, right?
It's not like y'all charge.
No,
it's just be a part of the club. That's all.
No, it's really, so I run the Facebook group on there and I do a lot of the social media stuff. To be honest, that's about all I have time for with my job, because I do still have another job. But most of the people are really good. I think we've only had one or two issues that we're not dealing with this. Just take this attitude somewhere else type of a thing. But we post everything. Like last year was we're going to talk about Supercell again. Freaking love Supercell. So it's one of those things that like people are like, oh, well, you never really post in advance. I've already posted about Supercell for next year. And I'm like, you can't tell me we didn't give you guys enough time. This event was very last minute, but I'm very surprised of how well it turned out. And everyone keeps telling me not to be surprised because of like how well that we did everything. I'm like, yeah, but if you would have seen everybody behind the scenes trying to put this together for everyone, like it was definitely a team effort. We're very thankful for Ford and Bronco Nation to have shown up. It was just really cool. And I had so many compliments of people just saying like they're the big guys, we're the little guys, and we're just happy they've like acknowledged us and they wanted to come out to like see everything, which I thought was super cool.
Yeah, that is awesome for sure.
And here's these guys. See if I can get some on this.
They did rip in this thing. It was really cool.
And that's pretty.
That was awesome.
So what you're saying is you wanted now you want one of those things.
Maybe.
I ended up texting my manager and I'm like, so do we have any Bronco Raptor allegations, because I want one in the worst way.
But would you drive it that way, Allie?
I absolutely would. It would be so
you would drive it like
great.
you stole it?
Yeah.
Well, and then so
Jordan says tell weak sauce, jump it or it doesn't count.
Well, I think they were trying to leave at that point too. But then so I'm in 4 high here because I saw some bumps out here, and when I was going to rip it, and I was like, I don't
want to roll.
Yeah, because I could have been a lot dumber, and I wanted to be a lot dumber than this. But,
and I appreciate that you were not a lot dumber.
But I was like, I gotta have some fun too now.
Oh yeah.
See, listen, it's not loud at all, Kelly. It's like, what was that?
I don't remember who did that. Was that Nikki?
I have no idea.
Maybe it was me. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what that was. You're scaring me
It was a
now.
good time.
That's all I know.
Mobile Moto says we need a hashtag events tab in Discord because he's starting to feel like he's left out.
Well, we can do
Didn't
that.
know about the event.
And if you're new to us, we do have a Discord, All Terrain Nation. I'll throw the link up in just a second. And it's just all things automotive. Mobile's pretty active on there as well as a few others. And,
Someone said who broke their steering rack. I don't think anyone.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
heard of an alternator go down.
A Jeep did.
Oh,
A
yeah,
Jeep
that
did.
Jeep broke his
yeah,
axle.
yeah.
Or no, he broke a knuckle. His knuckle ripped out of the axle.
Yeah. There was 2 Jeeps with
Yeah.
their hoods up too, but I'm not gonna mention that again.
hey, I did think it was sneaky that Jeep put those banners or those billboard ads right by the in.
Okay, here's the thing though. Jeep does sponsor and do a ton of stuff there. And it was funny. I was talking to Tom and they were very butthurt over the Bronco sign. Have you guys ever seen like the Bronco Hollywood sign? Okay, so that is where that originally was. Well, apparently one of the CEOs ended up calling Tom and just like freaking out on him, saying like, I can't believe you were pulling out of like Detroit 4 Fest and all this other stuff. And it's like, really, dude? Like, this is what we're going to start freaking out over? Bronco's better anyway, but that's okay. Who said that? What?
So it's funny you say that because Eric Jefferson actually asked a question. Let me find it here. Oh, I thought I flagged it. Give me just a second. Let me find it here.
And Jordan, I know Ford completely ghosted Detroit 4 Fest. I was there for that disaster.
Let's see. Here it is. So, Aly, do you get Bronco hate at work? At least 10 a week hating on Broncos and saying the Jeep is better. They turn around and then ask to order a Bronco.
No, actually, the funny thing about this is the minute we see a Jeep pulling up the drive, me and all the other salespeople are taking bets on if they're coming to ask for a Bronco, depending on like how lifted it is, how souped up it is, and things like that. I actually had a guy come in. So we had 7 or 8 Broncos on our lot, and that was the most we've ever had. Yes, they were all sold, all waiting for delivery. He comes up and he goes, yeah, I want to test drive one. I'm like, you can't. Because when you walk into the dealership, I'm the first one you see. I'm like, okay, you can't. I'm sorry. And he's like, well, are you blind? I'm like, no. And he's like, you have Broncos sitting on your lot right there. I want to drive one. I'm like, unfortunately, they're all sold. He's like, I used to buy a car with anywhere from 50 to 200 miles on them. I can still drive it. I'm like, I don't know where and like, this is where I'm really trying to keep myself together because I'm just kind of done with this conversation. I'm like, I don't know where you've been, but everything is custom order and these people have waited 2 years for this car. I'm like, we started ordering them, or we started taking reservations in 2020. We started production in late 21. I'm like, people are now just getting these cars. And he goes, well, how am I supposed to test drive it? And one of the other sales guys like speaks up and be like, none of these people test drove the car before they ordered it. Like, you have to get in line and kind of wait for one type of a thing. And he was like appalled. He's like, well, I'm not giving my Jeep up then. And there was a guy signing on his Bronco. And he goes, I gave up my Jeep. It's 110 times better. And he like continued signing his paperwork. I'm like, this is fantastic. Like, the guy was so
awesome.
mad. But I'm like, first off, I'm not giving you the keys to someone else's car. Because I even told him, I'm like, if I give you these keys and God forbid, like, we don't want something to happen, but what happens if you wreck it? I now have to call that customer and be like, hey, we let someone test drive like your car. Sorry, but it's a wreck. Like, no one's going to be happy and you're going to see a lot of angry articles about that. But
well, and I'm sure that you're already stressed out enough when you go to fill it up with gas to be like, please don't crash it or those types of things. Like
100%.
as you're getting ready to bring it back.
I just delivered my first Raptor and I went to go gas it because I'm like, if I let one of these wash rat kids do it, first off, yes, I wanted to drive the Raptor. I'm not gonna lie.
I was about to say.
But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not letting this 18-year-old drive this Raptor to the car and having something happen. Because if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen like on my time. And I told her too. I'm like, hey, because she was on her way up, and the car literally had 0 miles till empty. I'm like, I'm taking this to the gas station. I will be back in 15 minutes. Meet me back at the dealer. And she goes, I don't want someone driving, some kid driving my car. I'm like, nope, it's me. She goes, okay, I feel better. Like, yeah. Like,
right, because you built that relationship. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome
and to before what you were talking about, can you imagine like the person coming in to pick up their Bronco and there's a salesperson in their Bronco showing somebody around in it or something? That would piss me off because of the weight.
So here's the thing. I will try and like pull up the car. So like when they're pulling up our drive, that's like the first thing they see. Well, one time I left it unlocked just because I was like switching something out really quick. Some guy started climbing in it and like getting his hands all over it. And I went out there. I'm like, can I help you? He goes, yeah, I just want to see this. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm sorry. Let my customer see it first, and then I'll ask her if it's okay if you see it, type of a thing. And like some people just don't care. And like it was clean, ready to go, no window stickers, so it's not like it's not like it just came off the truck.
Mr. Tim Bartz asks, I'm a newbie with a big bin non-SAS. How do they do with just a rear locker? Rear lockers more than most off-road vehicles come with anyways. Go to a Toyota 4Runner, and I mean you can eventually get into something, but Toyota, I forget what they call their locking system, but no, a rear locker is like 20 years ahead of the game. So at that, grip is king, man, when you're off-road. So tires are key for me. I always suggest getting a good off-road, all-terrain tire at least. And after that, I've seen lockers get people in trouble. So, learn the vehicle.
Wild Raptor 2023. If salespeople had to take a shot for every time someone asked about ordering a Bronco, they'd be drunk by 9:15. Yes. Absolutely. Every phone call we get is Bronco Maverick, Bronco Sport, Super Duty, in transit. We can't get any of them. And Nikki, yes, Nikki, I hand wash my Bronco. Or go to
that was actually the next one I was going to ask.
I will not go to a regular car wash.
Don't look at me. I have never taken the Bronco to a car wash.
The Bronco. I had a little Honda Element that I loved, and I told her, I said, please never take this through a car wash. And it came home one day, and I could tell it went through a car wash because there were scratches all over it, and the wheels were all scratched up. And I said, you took it through a car wash, didn't you? Yeah.
I was trying to be nice and wash your truck. Don't get mad at me.
Well, it's not our problem anymore, but
you should see. So they did ask me to wash my Bronco before I brought it back to work, and you should see all the mud still on my Bronco.
See, I would think that would be having a dirty Bronco out front would be awesome. Is like
that's what I said. That's what I said to her. I said, did you ask him to pay for your emotional what did I say? Your emotional pain from having to wash it so quickly after the event, and it would be good for marketing perspectives to have your muddy Bronco out front.
It was a badge of honor that weekend, I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody did ask, and I know the answer is no, but somebody did ask earlier. I don't think I have the message flagged. They've been waiting. They're like 3 hours from MAP. Is there any way to escalate convoy? Didn't think so.
But your dealer can now track your vehicle through VIN something.
Yeah, there is that new tracking.
It is fantastic. I love the new tracking. It is still glitchy. It is still launching. But they can tell you almost an approximate time. Once that car is on a hauler, it is constantly pinging, and it knows the route that it's going.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
It's
VIN
really
view.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Laura.
Love it.
Tim, there is unfortunately out in the middle where you're at in Kansas area, man. There's I think there's Disney out there, which is a pretty big off-road park. You may but I'm sure you guys have sold a few of these things over out there that you can hook up with somebody. I suggest going with somebody.
Yes.
Never go alone.
Don't off-road alone.
Yeah. Even if it's simple to you, especially till you get your feet wet with off-roading.
I completely agree.
I've been to Holly Oaks a couple of times, and like there's even some that like a lot of the trails, I mean, they get worn down. That's another thing. That's why Michigan Bronco Club is also pairing up with Tread Lightly with Matt, just because it is a really good message to take care of all of our trails and things like that. But I even won't go to Holly Oaks alone because some of those trails do get sketchy in the back. Like,
I just thought it was because
Sure.
it's Detroit area is why I figured you didn't want to go alone.
Holly is not Detroit.
Not anymore. It's closer to Flint than Detroit.
Yes, it is.
So don't water. Like literally, we were playing in the water that I should not have been
We
stepping
were.
in.
No, we weren't. Night Chalker Racing, thanks for joining, sir. And ma'am, whoever joined tonight.
The Shockers.
The Shockers.
Wait, no, we're not going there.
Bronco 78 question: how did you find out what rail car your Bronco is on?
Magic.
Dealer, right?
Dealers
no,
do have a way to. Dealers do have a way to do it.
A good tracking on that, and I can't. It's been so long since I thought about that. But yes, I'll try to find the link.
Now through VinView, it does tell you what one it's
Oh,
on.
nice.
Yeah, I'll have to screenshot.
Dealer.
I'll have to screenshot some stuff and like send it to you guys because I mean it's really cool, like how much it pings. Because I have 2 Mavericks coming up from Mexico right now. One was in Texas today, the other one was in Illinois. But one of them made it to map today, and I had like got an alert on my phone saying like this one was checked in. I'm like, holy crap! Like it's about.
That's
I mean,
cool.
we're 2 years into this, but I mean, finally Ford got something to us.
That's very cool.
Well, I have a feeling like some of this. I mean, obviously, Ford corporate, they pay attention. They're on forums and stuff. We've talked about this many times. They don't come out and said, "Hey, I'm with Ford," because then it's they can't learn anything. But they watch this stuff and they've seen that people were finding backdoors ways to do this, and it was exciting for them to do it. So why not use that as a sales tool for the customer?
Yeah, it's cool.
Bronco 78 says, question, Dave, after seeing the Braptor in action, did it change your opinion of the Braptor any?
No, the fenders are still horrible. No, I mean, obviously I know what it is, guys. I poke at that thing, and I was offered the keys to one this weekend.
They could change them, but
right. It is what it is, man. And it, versus the normal Raptor, those wings on the side of it are different and special. But yes, no, I was offered the keys to one this weekend, and it just didn't work out in our schedule. We had one to review, honestly, and it just didn't work out. But
the weather wasn't honestly going to be nice enough for us to review it
right
properly.
So
it was.
I mean, seeing them play in person, because I mean I've seen them driving around and stuff, but actually getting to see them chew through the sand like that was pretty impressive. I still think my exhaust, because I've got video somewhere where I pulled up next to those guys, and I told him, I was like, hey, can you rev that for me? He goes, yeah, because I said I put a new exhaust on this and I think it sounds pretty close. And
is that what you were doing when you were sitting next to him?
And it's pretty close now. Obviously, I don't have active exhaust where I can open it up as louder like they do, but I'm happy with the exhaust in our Badlands. I would drive one though.
See,
I just wouldn't own it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not shitting on anybody that I need to step back. I'm not pooping on the Raptor itself. It's very cool. The technology is unbelievable. But for me, the type of off-roading we do locally, that we get the crap beat out of it, man. Those fenders would get the crap, because the trails, like, we'll try to get you over to Windrock when you're around sometime, because it's tight trees sometimes, and it's technical. More so because where you're wheeling is very open, and I can just see those fenders getting the crap ripped out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think the kind of wheeling that we would do, I don't think the Raptor is the right fit for us anyway, because we're much more, we are in those tight, like you said, the tighter spots. We're also not worried too much about speed and what we do and things. We're just really kind of looking for that crawlability and really kind of overall from there.
And I've seen the Light Bright videos where the guy goes and takes it and beats the piss out of it, for views. And obviously we do this hopefully for a living one day. We need views too on anything we do, but I know Ford and built it with rock crawl mode and all that stuff. I just don't see it as that's not its bread and butter. Its bread and butter is like what we saw here a few minutes ago, just chewing through sand, going fast and having fun that way. And that's my impression of it. So to answer that long, yeah, it's cool, but not for me.
Stephen Rapp says, when does Aly think the first Bronco Heritage Limited will come out? Which I think we talk about this every week. And hey, don't forget Stephen Rapp as number 2.
I don't know. It's going to be a late release. I mean, they're already telling us it's late availability. I'm telling people not to hold their breath.
It's Q2 of next year is when they were even starting them. So,
and that's the thing. Even that is questionable because they say Q2. It could be the last week of Q2, and technically, guess what? They did hit the deadline.
Just says, finally got to come into a live and say that I have my Bronco. Congratulations!
Yay. Congrats.
Valley Dude 5000 says, heard the EV Ford Explorer may be coming soon? ?
No comment.
Sure Ford's got an EV for everything they make.
I think so too. Let's see.
Technically, everything's going EV, so yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah, technically. So Aly, you've been there a couple times. What's your favorite obstacle there?
Honestly, Mount Magna that we were all on. Just because you have a couple of different obstacles to go up the cement mountain. I really like that, and any puddle that I can find my Bronco in.
Speaking of puddles, there was a dead alternator. There was a big mud hole. These guys, I seen everybody coming from back where we were all playing in that sand pit. I guess there was a pond back there or something.
So, okay, do you know where the Raptors took off to, like that corner? Literally just right around that bend, I guess, is where that one puddle was. But I just kept going in the one across from the sand pit and just kept driving back and forth in there.
Well,
I think my mom even looked at me and she's like, "Are you done?" I'm like, "No."
Nope.
No, splashing mud's fun. But I seen one got towed home. But they were talking. They were in some pretty deep. And I don't want anybody to think you can't get into water. Clean water. All day long, that alternator can get in clean water. It's fine. But what happens is you get all the sand and particles in the muddy water. The alternator can't spit all that stuff out, and it just screws up everything. Screws up the bushings in it.
It's not even that though. If you go in slow and do the waiting, just like they kind of teach you at off rodeo, you're not going to have a problem. Granted, depending on let me fix that. Depending on how much water you're in. You're not going to have a problem. Yeah. But it's the people that are taking it and just freaking trust me, I know flooring it is so fun. You should see the under of my engine right now. My techs are literally going to kill me. They hate me. I swear to God, they hate me because I love going through the puddles, but I will make sure that it's not too deep to where I'm going to submerge my engine. But I also do have to watch it a little bit with my speed because sometimes I get carried away. So.
Our buddy with Lifestyle Off-Road, man, he used to love to get in any mud he could find, and he was always going to put an alternator. And it's not exclusive to Ford. I don't want people to think because the 2.7
this is a Ford issue.
Got a black eye for the 30 to 40 or whatever, how many that had the early failures. And I know a lot of people that, this alternator issue, it's not exclusive to Ford, man. Toyota puts theirs down below. Nissan puts their alternators low. And it's just stupid. It's one of those things that's one of the things Jeep is smart about. They keep that alternator high. They know their audience. And this is what I kind of preach, that Ford captured the essence of Wrangler a little bit. But there's a few things they just didn't. It's not in their wheelhouse to think about. And I think they will update over the time and fix that problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely how you treat it too. And there's a lot of new people. So they're probably... We're just excited. So it's one of the, but I didn't see I want to say only like two to four had an issue
Mm-hmm.
out of the 80, and yeah,
That's
there
pretty
could be
good statistic.
0. But if you're taking everyone and they're brand new to this, I mean, you're gonna have
They
some
want
mess
to
ups. Let's be
and
and
brand new people want to go splash.
that's the thing. I was kind of watching the page, just watching the comments and stuff. Nobody was mad at all. It's a risk you take taking your car off roading. It's one of the guys said it perfectly. He said it's a lesson learned for next
Mhm.
time type of a thing. But nobody was mad, so that part was really cool because I
Yeah,
just
there's
want
a
everyone happy. So I didn't want
yeah,
anyone mad after that event. So
for sure. That's it. And there's that little bit of heartbreak when something like that
oh,
happens to your
absolutely.
baby, but at the same point, like, that's an assumed risk of taking it out and riding on some of these trails.
And you can't say, oh, I thought Ford built an off-road product, this and that, but they did to an extent. But if you go out and bury your truck with mud over the hood, that's not a Ford problem. That's a you problem.
Mhm.
And with off-roading, I said it at the end of the video the other day, there's assumed risk in everything you do in off-roading. You could roll over. I've seen people roll in the simplest little bump in the road. I've seen people,
Yeah.
do extreme, like I was really worried for that one that was pulling off of the tires, because I would have never pulled them straight off the tires. I would have backed them
Yeah.
off of that thing. And but there is assumed risk, and if that's a couple $100 for an alternator is the risk, consider yourself lucky, I guess.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when are you gonna get 35s under that thing?
I don't know. I really want 35s now. Actually, I really just want a Raptor. So if we can just get an allocation for a Raptor, I'll be set.
So
what'd your GM say? Do they have an allocation for a Raptor?
No.
No.
Oh, I bet
just
not,
like
yeah.
just like my Rap, I'm not getting a Heritage Limited. I'm not getting a Raptor. So they're just
How
breaking
is-
my heart left and right.
That's a good thing though. So obviously Bronco Raptor is still a hot commodity. How is it now with F-150 Raptor? Obviously, you're a couple of years now into the next generation. Is it still such a hot commodity, or do you think?
Yeah.
Does that give us an idea of what maybe Bronco Raptor eventually will cool down a little bit, and that you can get an order?
I think it'll cool down a little bit. With right now is not really a fair comparison, just because we can't get anything. So let alone if this was normal times, we'd have one every once in a while. I mean, the demand is definitely growing for them, but it's because people can't get one used. Because buying one used, you might as well just buy it new right now. Honestly,
Yeah.
with the way the prices are, and that's a lot of people are seeing the value in it. But then people are also hesitant to buy one right now because they want Raptor R.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest thing. I know Ford just had the media shoot around Michigan. If you guys have seen the pictures, I think you can figure out where. But that's getting ready to launch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
no, I didn't get invited to that one. So
I tried to pull my friends a Ford card. I'm like, hey, are we invited to this? Can we go? Yeah, I wasn't.
Well, you know what's bad is Mitchell's talked about that a little bit. So his YouTube channel, clearly it's backed behind his Ford dealership, but it's a separate entity. And Ford is like,
yeah,
I'm sorry, you've got 280,000 subs or whatever it is. You're still a dealer. Sorry. And it's like, it's not, I don't want to ever see favoritism, but it's like, this dude's like toting the banner for your brand more than most people are. And like you, for especially Bronco, like, yeah, it seems like maybe have a spot, because I will say there's a lot of channels that I know went to that. And I know personally some people that went to that. And there's some big car channels that went to that, like Alex Auto on Autos or whatever his name is. That's not his market. And I've watched his videos get no views. And they invite some of these people. It's like sometimes Ford PR doesn't understand, like, hey, there's some of these people, like, I'm never going to do well with cars. I can just promise you that. I'll do it because I love cars just as much as trucks.
Yeah.
But my channel is off-road based. But they let some of these car guys get them, and you're like, they're out there having fun, kind of looking kind of nerdy, like in their button-up shirt and stuff. I'm just like, really? Like, come on, man.
I mean, honestly, like once I found out there was like a Bronco like influencer thing, I'm looking at half of them and I'm just like, half these people don't even care. Like, they don't even like respect it and like treat it like it should be. And I feel like a total dork for saying it, because honestly, like, I was never this big of a car person. Yes, I work at a dealership. Yes, I come from a racing background, but like, truly, I kind of found myself with this car. So it's very weird to say it like that, but it's like I have so many new friends that are actually genuine. And all these car meetups I love going to, which I used to make fun of these people, so now I'm eating my own words.
Welcome to getting older, Aly.
It's great. It's fantastic, guys.
You'll yell at people to get off your lawn pretty soon.
Hell no. Like, if it wasn't for one of the kids in my neighborhood, I would not mow my lawn at all, because I just pay him to do it. Like, I just don't care. Like, I'm not home enough. I work too much. I either want to be at work or I don't want to be at work, but I want to be traveling. So it's like, give me in my Bronco and a trailer and we'll be good.
Yeah, it's funny you say that about how your life has changed and how you really kind of found yourself with a Bronco, because I was actually talking to your mom about that this weekend, and how she said, she's like, who thought I never would have thought that this is where she would be now, and she just loves it. And it's like she's a total different person when it comes to it. She's like, she just loves this thing.
I know, it's so funny, because like, even when people like try to drive it or like go near it, I'm like, don't touch it. Like, there's only a couple texts that I will like let touch my car. I'm like, don't go near it, don't touch it, don't park next to it. I'm like, get away.
And then there's us that goes, hey Gia, Nikki, get in her truck, go ahead and drive it.
I was having, well, like, even the people that like come for body work in like our body shop, like, some accidents have happened and I have seen not pretty ones, but I will say how fantastic the safety ratings are. And like, people have walked away from some of these accidents. But like, my heart literally breaks for them. Like, I get sad. They all think I'm crazy, so it's fine.
No, I'm right there with you. Like, I want to say there's at least 10 that I know of totaled Broncos amongst, the last couple of years. And it breaks my heart when I see them, because I go, oh man, like
they waited so long.
Even a fraction of the time that most people waited, like, it's just crazy, because I know you're getting yourself back in line. Like, you're getting back in line, and you're going to have to find something in the middle, or you're going to have to pay for it above astronomical to go ahead, unless you find a dealer that happens to be like, you know what, you're in a bad situation, I'm not gonna, gets that one that actually has the extra Bronco to be able to sell. But it's just crazy. Just crazy.
It's definitely been a roller coaster. I keep thinking to myself too, because I did lease my Bronco for a couple of months, and then I bought it after I realized like how much I like the thing. Here I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how long is Ford going to extend these leases for these Broncos that will be coming up in 2 years? Because some people have already had them a year, and you still have people like waiting for their Broncos, which I will say, it does make me super happy with how many people now say they have their build dates and everything, like in the chat and stuff. Because even at my dealer, we had so many pull, and there was finally one guy named Adam who, he's been so patient. He won't bug me. Like, he knows if I don't tell him anything, like, there's nothing to tell type of a thing. And I finally got to tell him that his wild track was pulled. I'm like, dude, you're not going to believe this. Like, I finally have a VIN number for you. And he's like, I literally was almost giving up hope. I'm like, no.
Aww.
Like, you're good. Like, I finally have like a good story.
That's awesome.
For that. So it's definitely cool.
That's awesome.
It's a good feeling.
I'm trying to pull.
Yeah, Gia made a good point. Please smash that like button on the video for us. If you are on cell phone, you may have to minimize the live chat to go ahead and do that. Just helps.
Okay, do you see how muddy my top is?
Yeah, so how'd that turn out for you after?
So now you can actually talk about this top now, by the way.
Yes.
Right?
I can. Guys, I have the best top, Sunrider top.
Ta-da!
Fucker. Thanks, Bronco G6 or whatever. Damn. Thanks for ruining my moment.
Yes, that was her Bronco at the grocery store. And yes, she only went in for a minute and somebody got it and it was already done.
So mad. It's so dumb. But I will say, oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, it's on here. I don't know if I'll be able to.
Where I can pull up a little bit better picture.
So I will say, with how much mud is on the top of that Bronco, that top cleaned up flawlessly.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Nice.
it did fantastic. I sent the pictures to the best top team, and I'm like, guy, because Eric, one of the guys I was talking to, for this entire thing, he goes, "Oh my gosh, have so much fun at your event. Let me know what people say about the top." So my last picture to him was this third time I went through the mud. Actually, you can kind of see the mud pit that I kept going through over in the corner. And I just kept doing a tidal wave over my Bronco. And I sent the picture to him when we were done. And I go, "So here's going to be the real question. How does this clean up?" And he just sends a sad face. And he's like, "Let me know." Sorry, but honestly, it cleaned up really, really nice. I got that thing super dirty, so oops.
Yeah, so we got to see this in person. And
I love the top.
You were checking it out. Go ahead, Bally.
So I love the top. I have no complaints. I can still talk on the phone and people can hear me. When you fold it back, it does stay put. It doesn't bounce too much or anything like that. They do give you Velcro straps just in case it does, because obviously if you're flying down a dirt road, that's going to be a different story. Then again, Michigan roads suck. So it kind of is like a dirt road. Now putting it on, I can't answer because my top was actually the first top put on, period. Mine was the first one they ever got in their shop. So you had 5 engineers putting this thing on, just seeing how everything worked and how it was supposed to go. And I do have pictures of that, which I thought would be a good keepsake for it. But honestly, it works really well. To be honest, Maya loves it. Every time we would get in, she would kind of just nudge her nose to get me to open
"Hey,
the
Mom,
top.
open it."
Yep. And the fact that I can open, well, you saw me close it. You can open and close it with one hand.
Yeah.
You don't need a whole lot of manpower to try and get this thing, which is kind of nice. So also taking it off, I also can't answer because I wasn't the one doing that.
Best Top actually makes a 2-door. It's a fastback soft top. It looks really good. I like the 2-door better than the 4-door version. It just looks wise, but yeah. And
I think it looks sportier.
Yeah, and we will be moving to the 4-door soft top somewhere down the road.
And my fenders are also Best Top. I am not sponsored by Best Top, but I do get their parts.
To get into the fenders. So
I
do product tests for Best Top, though.
Yes,
kind of.
I'm gonna pull up a picture of these fenders.
Well, while you're doing that, so at the end of all of it, I was like, "Allie, can I see how this top?" I said, "Can we talk about this top now?" And she's like, "Yeah, we can officially talk about this top." And I was like, "Okay, can I see how it opens and closes and all that?" So I got my hands on it. So that was really fun. It is significantly lighter weight-wise than the factory soft top. Full transparency. Allie and I talked about this. My only concern is because it's so light, how it holds up in the long run. But you said it's got a great warranty, and anybody you've known that has had to do any warranty work with Best Top has had great experience.
What is the warranty?
She said 3 years on this one, right?
Yeah, I read the warranties on mine, and they're all 3 years across the board.
So all 3 years for them.
Yeah, I had one lady, and she wasn't my customer, but she was another salesperson customer. She had the
Eric, thanks for joining.
So she said she warrantied it a couple of times, and the warranty would start over with the new one. So she said she replaced it 2 or 3 times, but she said it was minor stuff. But she's like, if they're gonna replace it, I'm gonna claim it. I'm like, all right, no problem.
Speaking of replacing,
oh God.
So
that's
so
what
these
you
are
were doing around my car.
These are. Oh, I have a whole video I did around your car. It'll be coming out this week. So these are the Best Top fenders replacements. Now, a couple things.
My life, apparently.
I'm going to say right off the bat, I don't like this part at all. There's nothing you can do about that. If you want that square fender look, I've seen the other company that makes these. They're still,
unless you lose clearance, you wouldn't be able to do anything different.
Right. But overall, the overall look to them, it is nice to see a square fender. Any idea what these are going to cost, Allie?
I thought it was either 550 or 650. They are on
Okay.
Best Top's website as of right now.
Okay.
So
For me, I think I would just personally rather stick with the removable fenders from Ford at this moment. And I'm not crapping on this for any, you know, I don't like that
if
inner
you crap
liner
on it,
beneath
I'll
it.
put another Michigan sticker on your Bronco at Supercell.
Another what? Another.
Huh? Who said that?
Huh?
All right, I'll be back. I've got to go look over my Bronco.
Who's Bronco?
But no, I mean, so this was some of the feedback that I seen on Bronco 6G was, hey, you know,
I got a ton of crap on it for Bronco 6G, but I mean, so where it's rounded off, this angle, yes, you can definitely tell just because you're kind of looking up in it. But I have other angles too that you can't see it as much, but it's not too bad. It's kind of disappeared now that I've had him on my Bronco for a week.
yeah.
What?
So I mean, I'm assuming you like them, or you would have already pulled them off.
Yeah, I mean, I will say they are also hard to pull off, but I like them. They are 3M tape. They're not as easy to remove as the Ford ones, but it is 3M tape that's
so
stuck
it's
up
3M
on there.
taped.
So
Okay.
He said if I can take them off, I can just or get a heat gun. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
They're staying on for now. So
Area 51.
I will say they need to do better. Their pictures. I got the press release for these. I mean, I'm
they
about to
need
pull
better
one of the
pictures.
pictures up. It's horrible. Like, I'm amazed what even Ford and some of these companies, what they get away with now for just saying like, oh yeah, look, here's one of them. Like, you can't purposely
Yeah.
they don't want you to see inside of the fenders
Around.
as well. But they did a really good job, I think, of making that round area look square, and the fronts look good.
Well, see,
Once
I
again,
really
but there's
wanted.
also other big fender flares that aren't for me either. So, you know, I would like the square fenders. Once you can order them from Ford for replacements for the Heritage Edition that I wrecked.
Yeah.
That maybe we replace them that way, or you just, in my personal opinion, I'd probably go with the Advanced Fiberworks, whatever they are. But then
I don't remember the name.
You're getting in triple the price. So
yeah, and that's the thing. Like you're removing parts of your Bronco at that point. You're repainting. You're doing a lot with those, which I've seen them done and they're nice. But once they're chipped, I mean, something's gonna chip if you're actually if it's a pavement princess and you're never gonna take it off roading, go for it. Do the advanced fiberglass 100%. But if you're actually gonna take this thing off roading, that's a lot of money to just kind of throw.
Yeah.
To have it get chipped and things because it's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it from happening. So.
No, I think once again this is nice and smooth. It actually is a little more narrow than the fender flares were, so it does give you a little more extra room and tight trails and stuff. But no, I've got a video coming on that, and I'm gentle in the video. I will say that. I'm not. I didn't even know
that you did a video.
Don't turn your back with your car. Like I'll be doing videos everywhere. I'll be like showing the light.
Some credit because she's probably in it too.
Well,
she is.
She licked my nose. By that point, she'd licked my nose. We were good.
Yeah, it's all good. Wild Raptor 2023 says, Allie, I hope you don't accidentally misplace Dave's Ranger spot in line after he's been hating on those flares.
I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying they're not for me.
There were some people, and it's online. I get it. People are going to be keyboard warriors, but I was like, Best Stop did do an ad for them or whatever, and it was nothing but hate. And I'm like, I guess if I don't like something, the first thing I don't do is like jump on it and tell you all the reasons why I hate it. I'm like, I literally just keep scrolling. But yeah, that's the one thing that will always amaze me of like online people. Just like
agreed.
Oh yeah.
They're just ridiculous.
I got one more little tidbit. Well, actually two more, but we'll go over this real quick.
This makes me nervous.
Ford does away with price protection for 23. Well, that headline, if Jordan and you guys are in there, Laura, the headline's kind of scary, but they're not actually doing away with it, right? It's more of a, I don't know if you've seen this or not, Allie. They're just sort of it gets into this a little bit. where's that? They're just sort of changing what they're calling it and the levels that you can get of price protection. But I've said it many times. Ford is going to do away with that after 23.
We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, and I don't mean this to come off like super rude, but Ford has given people enough chances. And like, I get it. I'm very stubborn, and I want what I want. And if I don't get it, like, I'm just not going to do it, type of a thing. And some people haven't wanted to change their mind, and that's totally fine. Yes, it sucks of how everything kind of played out. Ford can't control everything. We cannot control the supply chain. Yes, some things could have been done better. But at this point, Ford's throwing in the towel. They're saying, we've done what we could do. Take it or leave it.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things.
Yep.
And to play devil's advocate, we've also heard me talk about it too, is that it's like, even those, because we know people that have modified their orders and still not gotten their Broncos. Like, they've modified it, taking away the constraints and things like that. So I think at the same point, what are you doing to our stream here?
Pushing the wrong button.
At the same point, I can see where it's going to be frustrating for those people that were just like, hey, you promised one thing. This is what I signed up for. And now I'm getting my butt handed
just
to me
said,
from that.
why not call it a rebate? It is a rebate. That's how it shows up in our paperwork.
Yeah.
As of right now, for 22s, it's different, but Ford finally made it easier for us, and it is one whole rebate that gets applied to the car. The Bronco, whatever.
Well, and speaking of things that get applied to cars, there's a rumor has it there is a headlight recall, right?
I forgot to look that up, to be honest.
Well, I know they've stopped sale of a few Broncos, so
I think it's only a couple of them. I don't think it's a ton.
No, I'm sure it's a short time period of build that they've done, but there is a small stop sale on the Bronco for headlights. It's either a wiring harness or the actual LED lights themselves. So I want to say it's the signature lighting.
Yeah, it is a signature lighting from what I've seen, like, on Facebook and stuff. But I don't know if it's like a wire harness or I don't know what it is, because the F-150s have it right now too. So I have 3 F-150s. I can't. Yeah, Maverick has it too. And it's on Maverick. It's only the higher XLT and the Lariat. The F-150 is XLT and above. I'm trying to think.
But I know they've told dealers to just order. There was somebody at the meet this weekend that was their Bronco got delivered. He thought he was going to get to drive his brand new.
He's the one who got to ride in the Raptor, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
he thought he was going to get to drive his new Bronco to this event, and his salesperson was like, "We can't sell it to you."
But he did say his wife was kind of happy about it because he knew she knew that he would drive it to the event, like, straight off with drive out tags and everything. So she was kind of happy that it didn't get there.
There was one. He said that he was like hoping the ink wasn't even going to be dry yet by the time he was like leaving the dealership. He did message me at 10:49 a.m. So we were like all just getting there. He goes, "No go on the Bronco, heading that way in my truck. I'll explain the Bronco issue when I get there." And I'm just like, that broke me. I'm just like, I felt so bad because we messaged for like 2 days. We talked about Jeff's like flag mount and everything. And he's like, I'm so excited. He was so pumped, but I think he still had a pretty good day. At least I hope he did. So
no, he seemed like he had a lot of fun.
That was Jason. So if Jason's in here, hopefully you had fun.
Jess keeps asking about her alarm going off. I feel like there was somebody else that was talking about they were having some issues with their alarms or the fob or something. I've heard this a couple times from several people.
Where it freaks out that it doesn't recognize the fob, even if they put it in that spot.
The alarm's going off, like, just randomly.
I wish my alarm would go off and mess with my neighbors, but
I like pissing my neighbors off when I start it now.
No, my neighbor's dog barks at 10:30 to 11 o'clock every single night, and like y'all saw me with my dog this weekend. I am a dog advocate. I love my dog. She goes with me everywhere. But if I have a husky who is known to sing and bark and be obnoxious because she's a husky, and if your little yipper dog is louder than her, no. Like, just no. Half the people don't even know I have a dog here because I work 24/7. But
Does your dog get to come with you?
Huh?
Can she come to work?
Not really. She does sometimes. Like, if I'm really in a bind, they won't care because they know that I'm either just not gonna go to work or they know my dog comes first. Like, there's been several times where I'm like, dude, my dog is either sick, like this past couple of weeks. I'm like, I'm not coming in. I'll work from home. Like, it is what it is. Or she's coming in. Like, you pick. Well, she was allowed to come in that day. So very rarely, as long as she's like quiet and stays in this little office and doesn't like sing, she's good.
Well, she'll sing
I'm
for
sad
Bronco.
I didn't hear her voice.
I'll have her sing at Supercell. She'll love it.
She said, is the hood sensor wired to the headlight wiring harness? I wonder.
Yeah,
because it keeps saying hood is being opened.
Unless you might have a faulty sensor on it.
I'm not a technician. I don't know.
Yeah, I would go. I would take it right to your dealership and just say, hey, little quirky, love the vehicle, little quirky. And most of the time there's either a bulletin or something out. They kind of know those things. A couple more questions, Kelly. What do we got?
Tim says price protection is typically given during model year. Private offers or rebate are given for those that don't get scheduled and have them carried over.
All right, there you go. What else we got? Anything else?
There was something.
There's always something.
It's true. He did not get to drive the Raptor, but he did get to ride in the Raptor. So there was at least that. Yeah. There was something Cigar Texan said. What was it? Oh, have a rear door child safety lock recall. Yeah. So I'm not sure if you were in the live that night, Cigar Texan, or if you heard, but we actually had a mobile Ford service tech come to our house to check to see if we did have the recall, and we did not. He said everything was fine. Everything was cool, calm, collected.
I was going to take a picture of that Transit.
Oh.
And show you guys. Yeah, it is a thing. Most Ford dealers bought into it. So
that's actually a nice, it's a nice, especially now with a lot of people working from home. That's a pretty nice deal.
Valley Dude 5000 says my recalls are drive shaft replacement needed in the child safety door thing, the back doors.
I got mine done right before the event.
The boot,
the drive shaft boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, and it was a certain time.
It was like an hour thing.
Yeah,
wasn't even bad.
Tag, you're it.
I'm it.
You're it.
All right, guys. Final questions. Bring them in. Aly, once again, I feel like you're on every week now, but we greatly do appreciate your time on the show. No worries.
Cigar Texan, you'll have to just check with your dealer to see, because they actually they called us and said, let me come to your house.
Yeah, I thought it was a scam at first. I was like, what?
Yeah, I thought about it when the guy showed up. I was almost going to hand the keys over, and I was like, I'll unlock it for you. How about that? And he walked out, looked at it, and not going to give you the keys to my truck as you show up as a Ford person, even though I know you're coming.
But this guy, he told you that's all he does, right?
Yeah, all he does is these mobile things. Right now, and he's doing these recalls right now just because there's so many that they need to check off. But he's been a tech for years and years and years, he said.
I mean, and that's the thing. Ford pays them to do the recall too. So it's free for you, but they pay the tech. So we have people who are now just doing or training to do all the mobile stuff, which is actually kind of cool. So do we have a Supercell countdown yet? I think we should.
We don't, but we should. I don't know. Let me see.
Well, so this is probably our last Bronco for the deal of the year this past week. I mean, we'll go in.
Oh, event?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like live. I was like, dang, when did that happen?
Yeah, I'm cutting this off.
Mic drop.
No, so next Monday and Tuesday, Kelly and I have a press event in East Tennessee we have to attend.
Yep.
Supposed to get to drive the new Nissan Z. I'm just saying I'm kind of excited by that.
I have to work during the day.
I know Kelly doesn't really get.
I'm really upset about it.
You should just stay home. Then.
Screw you, man.
I'm gonna kill you.
Allie's like, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
So what date are we counting down to? Because we're gonna be there
April.
the 18th. When are you gonna be there? 19th?
Hold on, I gotta look again. No, I'm trying for now the night of the 18th.
Sweet, that's when we'll be there.
So
Is
I
our-
think
our
I think
place-
I'm doing the 18th through the 22nd.
I told them as early as possible in our registration
Okay.
thingy.
And we're planning a booth this year again. So I'm hoping to have a couple things. Obviously, we'll have the white knuckle sliders because I did have a few people reach out to us at your deal and was asking about those. So people do watch the show.
161
Yeah.
days.
So
A
excited.
lot of cold weather in between then and now, though.
I'll try to come up with a prettier one that we can share.
That would be great.
But I'm hoping to have I know I'll have the white knuckles by then. I'm hoping to have a seat company play along, and you might see something smooth and leathery in the old Bronco.
I keep telling
I'm
myself I'm done with stuff right now.
You're never done, Allie. You're new to this.
know.
It doesn't.
Thanks
stop.
for joining, Tim. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Tim. And thanks for the support, sir.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, and we'll have the diabolical, and we might have a couple other things people can check out. I suggest if you're new to Bronco and you're anywhere close to East Tennessee, and I mean within a few 100-mile drive, it's worth it to come see the Broncos.
It's
Come
so
see
cool.
the old Broncos, which there is a weird divide between old and new there. This event's been going over
For a long
years,
time.
for a long time because of the
Yeah.
old ones. So just be respectful too when you go spend some time with those guys, man. They have some really cool builds.
That's the thing. They have cool builds and they have great stories too.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
met
that.
somebody.
I think that's the coolest part of the whole thing is really just like getting to know them and like either how they got that Bronco or like what that Bronco means to them is like it's the best time.
There was one I was doing. I was out in the very back of the event last year, and I was just kind of looking for stories. And I didn't do a story on this, but I just started talking to this guy. His thing was ratty, man. This Bronco was it was not worth saving. But he had it on a trailer there, and he had a price tag on it. And but after I think some people had been pooing on his price tag a little bit. So when I walked up to it, he was very defensive, like, hey, what do you want? But just getting to talk to him. But it was the first vehicle he ever got to drive. Was this old Bronco? It's a farm Bronco. His grandfather bought it brand new. Went right to the farm. It didn't go see the road. It went to be a farm vehicle, and
That's awesome.
It ended up getting left out as old vehicles do.
It was a farm horse.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Are you going dad jokes now?
Yep.
You're so proud of yourself right now.
That was a good one.
I think it's because Allie laughed so much at it. It just made me happy.
But there is a lot of stories there, and there's a lot of cool parts. I'm looking for a grill. I'd like to have a old grill for somewhere back here at some point, or when Kelly lets me move all this.
Stay out of my office.
You took my Bronco. I get the office. That's how it works.
I work from home.
I do too.
You can't have my office. Move the kid out downstairs.
I'm trying. Sorry, Sydney, you're gone.
No, not that kid.
My 12-year-old's out. Kelly, mom did this. I didn't want to.
Laura, Supercell is in April.
Yes.
April 18th-ish through the 22nd.
It's the East. Supercell East is the biggest of the three.
Yes.
And mostly because there's a lot of people in the East Coast. The Wisconsin one was brand new.
It's not Wisconsin, it's Wisconsin.
Whatever, Crisco.
There wasn't a ton of people there.
But I do expect the Wisconsin to get a little bit bigger over the next couple years. And the one in Colorado is just all about off-roading in Colorado, which I've off-roaded in Colorado, and it's a lot of fun, man. So,
but we go for the community is really kind of what we go for. So,
and
that's the one thing I've really noticed is when people do go to these things, it really is for the community of people.
Mhm.
And I was so scared to go last year because I'm like, I'm new to this. I don't know. And I will agree with Dave. the first through 5th gen. Some of them did not like that the 6th gens were there. But we got Broncos too.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be disrespectful, but it's one of those things. I'll always be a fan of the first gens. Like
Oh, yeah,
those
they're
have
great.
my heart. I want one in the worst way, but I also don't want to pay $60,000 for one. I'll just pay $60,000 for my new one. I can kind of fix that one.
Yeah.
The older ones I know nothing about.
Before 17, when they started talking Bronco coming back, like you could pick some of those up like silly cheap, and then once they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Bronco's coming back," let's raise the price up.
Cigar Texan says, anyone know if the box the Ford Tuffy rear cargo drawer comes in will fit in a 4-door? Yes.
Yes, we have a video on that, Cigar Texan.
Yes.
We
did a video on it. Check it.
Oh wait, if the box itself it comes.
Yeah, I mean it's the same.
No, the actual box it comes in, I think.
Yes, it was tight around the box. Is my point. It would fit. The box that the drawer comes in.
The shipping box.
Yes.
Maybe.
Pretty
I
sure.
fit so much stuff in my Bronco. Just fold the seats down and go with it.
Yeah, you're good. Because it's literally it's tight around it, Cigar Texan. So it's not like there's a whole bunch of like extra width and everything around it.
Yeah.
I would pick it up in your truck, sir, is what I would do. That's because he's asking, should he go pick it up in his truck? I would pick it up in my truck. We opened it up in the back of our Jeep, so.
I guess.
There you go.
You can also check one of our videos to see how big the box is compared to the other one. I don't remember which.
I did a live.
Yeah, we did a live on it. Yeah. Lauren Davino says, Allie's next mod.
Tires.
35
tires. 35s.
Yeah, probably.
35s.
Yeah, but then I might need to do like a leveling kit.
And you're good. You just go pat a tech on the back and say, "Hey, buddy, can you do this for me real quick?"
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
That's what I go every single time. Hey, guys, can you just do something real quick?
Never They're like,
when I go ask it. One of my checks, Aaron, he's great. He's one of my really good friends. And he's like, I'm going to do it. I say yes every time, but he's like, I hate you right now. I'm like, it's okay. You can hate me. It's fine.
That's funny.
Yeah, I definitely want tires. That's the thing. Like, I want to put my Bronco in the contest.
That's not it.
But I'm going to have to do something.
That box will not fit in the back of the truck. Sorry, we're fighting over the box. A Cigar Texan will not fit in the back of that thing. Not flat. There.
I keep checking Bronco Nation too because I think Laura's gonna do an article of the Michigan meetup, and I'm like, I just want to see it.
Yes, and you know what's funny is, I didn't recognize Laura at first. Kelly goes, "Hey, there's Laura," and I was like, and I'd seen her walk by me like 7 times.
Did you hear what she said? So the reason she ended up, she flew back from SEMA.
Well, that's right.
Tom, the event guy who like runs Holly Oaks, his flight took off at midnight from Vegas, flew to Michigan. Ford had a photo thing at like 7 a.m. before the park opened even, so that was for something else. And then they had the Bronco event, and Laura was like, if Tom can do this, I can do this and say hi. But she's like, I do have to go to work later.
Yeah, that's what she told me. She's like, I'm not staying very long, so I'm introduce you to these couple people, but that's like it. Like
as soon as I saw her, I tackled her. I love Laura. She's honestly, she's been so cool to kind of talk to and like get to know people in the Bronco world. She's amazing. I love her.
And guys and gals, if you want to get to know Laura better and you have a Cherokee, she's looking for the Woody version of the Cherokee. She had a special name for it that I did not recognize, but it's she wants the old Cherokee that has the dual lights, the early 80s or late 80s Cherokees. And she's desperate to find one. So if you want to make friends with Laura, find her a Jeep. I feel dirty saying that. But
you own a Jeep.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of it. I would have a Wrangler. I could have a Wrangler and be. I mean, I like the Gladiator. I don't dislike it. We don't drive it.
It's not good for driving.
It's I don't know what 10,000 miles on it maybe.
Yeah.
They're not.
Maybe.
And I've had it almost 2 years.
No, you haven't. Year and a half. That's not 2 years.
Sorry.
You don't get to round up a whole half month, half the year.
Why? She's all worried about Supercell.
Yeah, but we're not rounding up. She's excited to get there. You don't go.
I just want to see everybody.
See?
Like see, after the Michigan event, I know there's like I have no other Bronco event, so now I'm just gonna be like sad.
Same for us, but
seasonal
but
depression.
you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna blink and then it's gonna be February.
I swear to God, it better, because it's about to get cold here.
Because that's usually what happens.
Let me just start blinking really, really fast.
Well, there's always the show here. There's a spot for you in the show anytime you just want to talk Broncos. So.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel like I'm gonna have to like make some events so I can like come on and talk to you guys about it. If not, I'll just be in the chat. So
it'll be what's Aly doing this week? Did she get tires?
Oh,
pretty much.
So Eric did say, Aly, we do have a code orange coming that isn't spoken for yet.
I can't do the code orange. It has to be white or Area 51.
Oh.
Did they do them in white?
Yeah. And that thing looks sexy.
I saw the Area 51 this weekend.
No, that's...
I would know. Look up White Raptor. It looks fantastic.
All right.
White Raptor. See, I don't know. I kind of like the code orange. I think it looks red. Maybe I'm colorblind. I don't know.
No, I mean, Ford and their strange colors.
That's not what she asked for.
No, I was seeing if there was an image of both of them. Thank you.
Or
there you go. There's a rainbow. That's it. That's all you get.
Oh, Lord.
These stupid images.
It's because you didn't do what I told you.
No, code orange. I think code orange for me is the best looking on the Raptors.
There's it is. There's a sport with all the colors on it.
Where did you learn to speak?
Shut up.
There's it is.
Cyber orange looks yellow and code orange looks red. Yes. Thank you, asshole.
There it is.
I've been saying
Cars
that
and
the whole
bids.
time.
Right there. There's it is.
Cars and bids. You mean Doug DeMuro's thing?
Bid at $107,000. It's actually kind of low.
Well,
right now
they're starting to cool down a little bit. All right, there you go, Aly.
Love it. I even like the graphics on it.
Yeah, I actually like the graphics on the white. I don't like it on many.
So,
I did like it on the Area 51 though.
So I sold one with the graphics on the Area 51, and that's kind of what I'm like, oh, maybe these aren't like so bad.
So tell me this: how is it more popular to order this kind of stuff with the graphics package, or is it better? Do you think, not as an investment? No car's true right now; they could be called an investment, but they're really not. No. Or do you think it's
no
better?
car is ever an investment?
No, but I meant right now the way that people are flipping these things. I don't mean it as an investment, but you can make money on some of this stuff right now. Would it be better to order some of this stuff if you were gonna say you want to own it for 6 months and then you were just gonna get rid of it? Would you order it with the graphics package or without?
I would still order it with the graphics package, but that's just because I like it. From like a selling it after, like a selling, it doesn't matter.
Do you think on the new F-150 Raptors, with that big goofy 37 they put down the back of the thing, that turns me off.
That's kind of cool. Never noticed that before.
Yeah, the blacked out.
Mm-hmm.
So right now Kelly's wanting a Raptor. Great, thanks, Aly.
You're welcome.
She's over here looking at the steering wheel.
Actually, there's a company before I got my fenders on.
I love that.
It's awesome. Underground Graphics in Texas, I believe. They have the Raptor. It's a little bit modified, obviously, so Ford can't take it down. But I did request for a custom one to be black, gray, and teal. Shocker. Teal. But I am looking to get the graphics package on my Bronco.
Well, there's somebody closer that can do graphics for you. They're in Iowa. They're in Iowa.
Who?
Luke with Lifestyle Off-Road. He did all of our vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He can make
I'm
whatever
like-
you want.
He'll hate me. I'm so indecisive.
No, he trusts me. I hear about how indecisive people are. And I will say this: I've been thinking about some things I want to add to ours. I definitely would like to do a carbon fiber steering wheel.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But only because I look at the leather on the steering wheel already, and I just feel like, and I've seen Ford some of the stuff, it doesn't seem to last a year or two, and then it starts looking really rough. And so there's some companies out there, but you're looking $700 to $1,000 for a stupid steering wheel. But
some of the prices on this stuff right now is outrageous. Well, and that's just because of the hype of Bronco too. I mean, I'm sure it could come down eventually. Keyword eventually.
Eventually.
Laura said, "Would you get orange seatbelts in your Raptor?"
No.
That was very assertive.
That was
No.
that. Like, that
Why
was,
did you even ask me
Yes.
that question?
Well,
yeah.
they look so. I don't like. I think they look so bad in person.
I will say that white one Kelly just had up had the ugly blue. Ford needs
It
there are people that
reminds-
do interior needs to be slapped.
It reminds
is
me
awful.
of like, not like the Bronco the car. It reminds me of being a Bronco football fan.
Yes.
No, but this weird bluish
The
leather.
navy.
Yeah.
It's so
I'm
bad.
like, what?
Is that the same navy pier?
No.
No,
So it's different.
Yeah, it's darker.
no, it's a little different.
But that was the one thing with I remember early on. Do you remember the video that Ford put out of their interior people, like breaking down all the material choices?
They were super excited.
It was a horrible video,
Yeah.
and it didn't sell anybody on the fact that whoever picked some of the colors, because like Black
It's
Diamond,
bad.
the Black Diamond marine grade vinyl is ugly to me. And I'm sorry, Black Diamond guys. I would own it. I was going to buy one, but when you see the Badlands with the black looking versus like this light gray with a dark inner, I don't know. It's just like, who came up with this crap?
I don't know.
Sorry.
I see, and the thing is, like, I like my marine grade vinyl in my Badlands. I built two. Yes, I've already been building out Raptors now ever since this weekend. I have.
That's why they did it.
I can admit it. I have a problem. I can now see why people own multiple Broncos. So I even built it out with the vinyl on the Raptor too, just because I've had such good luck with mine. But
no, they were very nice. They're very nice. I would like some leather in ours. But I'm trying to build a relationship with somebody, so we'll talk about that maybe down the road. That might get help pay for some trips. So, anyways, there we go. All right, guys, that was a show tonight. That is 2 hours. You're not even drinking. What are you doing?
No, I never had a drop. Holy flip!
Whoa! What is going on over there?
It's time change. Time change, Aly.
I haven't had a drop of alcohol, is what I was going to say, and I don't even know the words. That
She's
just
over there
came
like
out.
this right now.
No, I had this big project at work this week, and I think that my brain
cut her off. Wow.
I know, and it's just sweet tea. It's nothing fun.
Man, my audience is gonna kill me. I ordered a Black Diamond because of the interior. Hey, man, we all like different things. Remember, these are just my opinions. My opinion is not the word of Buddha, God, whoever. What?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I said this yesterday. But
doesn't this wouldn't this be an issue if for water and stuff?
No, I get that part, but you've already got heated seats, so how is that any different?
It's a mat in between the seat and the cushion.
Yeah, but it's ventilated.
No, but the ventilated is all it does is blow air
up your butt.
Basically.
I can't take you anywhere.
That's what it was like in the flipping Wagoneer.
It makes you feel like you wet yourself.
I don't know how you do that, but
So I was sitting in the Bronco. Mm-hmm. I had a pillow on my lap, and I had a laptop on top of the pillow, and I was hot.
Well, yeah, because you had a pillow.
But that's what I'm saying.
Laptop.
So and I told him, I was like, man, if I had cooled seats, this would be perfect.
So whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or these hot ass seats we ride in, I guess. It's been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, alongside Miss Kelly Boyd and Miss Aly Dubois.
See y'all.
Peace, everybody. I think are we out, Kelly? I don't know, man.
We're out. Close it.